Well, if you've never been to Alaska, or if an Alaskan you've never encountered a bear getting into garbage, it's not a pretty thing. And part of the issue is that here's this basically free food left out for an animal who does what animals do and saying, hey, this is free food, it's now mine. It happened in Anchorage over the weekend. Apparently a young bear found some garbage that was left out and became protective of that garbage, chasing the women who lived at the house back into the house, and then coming up after the police officers. When the police arrived to check it out, they made the decision to put the bear down. GVEA's rejection of the wind farm idea. You may have heard about that. In fact, we had a special interview here at radiofreespeech.com with Mike Kraft, the fellow who's been developing the Delta wind farm. The rejection of that wind farm apparently flawed, according to the RCA. That's the Regulatory Commission of Alaska, the agency that oversees utilities, basically saying that, look, you discounted this out of hand. There are certain procedures you should have followed. You didn't do it. They may end up forcing GVEA to take the energy that's being produced at the wind farm. The State House has passed a version of the Real ID bill, which would allow for people who do not want to have the Real ID to have a non-compliant form of state identification or a state driver's license for themselves, or for those who, say, want to go on to post for anything, or who want to, say, travel, get on an airplane, and want to have a Real ID compliant identification, could do so as well. And that the State House passed, and Alaska Senate made movement on that as well over the weekend. The jury has found the Anchorage couple that was accused of starting that wildfire, the Sockeye fire, a couple of years ago. They found them not guilty. Also, a new report says that despite the recession here in Alaska, housing market remains steady. There's also a story on how more people are holding down two jobs in Alaska than ever before. And part of it is that normally that second job that someone's holding down is a lower paying job in the service industry. And they're still not making as much as people who have just one job. Anticipated fish report shows that Alaska's fish volumes will be up, but prices flat. And there's a new report on the return of the Tustumena. This is the trusty Tusty, not so trusty anymore. This is one of the state ferries. Now they're saying it won't return to service until July 18th. They just keep pushing it further and further. Reversing Obama, the Trump EPA has now reached a deal with the Pebble mine developer, looking at a smaller mine. However, even a smaller mine, like they're planning, is going to face some very high development hurdles. There are two different stories about that in ADN over the weekend. A man has got 45 years in prison for shooting up his own car in Eagle River, killing a passenger in the process. And there's been a Mumps case confirmed in Anchorage. Also, another story noting that there have now been over 3,000 earthquakes in Alaska. This month alone, it's only the middle of the month. Wow. Also, there's a new sculpture in the Matsu Valley for David Grunwald. That is the young boy who was murdered, and now his family is, you remember the case, the boy was murdered by a group of teenagers, basically. Now his family has commissioned a statue, a sculpture in his honor. There are many more stories than we have time for in a short video like this one. If you'd like the 30 to 40-minute audio form delivered directly to your inbox, become a subscriber at radiofreespeech.com. Many of different pricing options depending on what you can afford and what you think this is worth to you. Check it out for yourself, radiofreespeech.com. Thanks.